Let's go straight to the politics desk where we find our parliamentary reporter Lulama Matya, who joins me now to give us an update and open up her reporter's notebook. Lulama, good afternoon. Let's start with what you're looking at in as far as the Pan-African Parliament and Women's Month, those themes and the participation of women in politics and parliaments across the continent.
Good afternoon, Tulas. Welcome to Parliament as well as SABC viewers. Yes, this week, the 1st of August, we know that South Africa in August commemorates the Women's Month. So the first starts on the 4th, on Sunday. So currently, the Pan-African Parliament is currently underway in Midrand in Gauteng. Issues that the Pan-African Parliament that is discussing its African development goals. Well, Tulas, we know the challenges of the African continent. Top parliamentarians from the African continent are gathering there for the Pan-African Parliament to discuss those issues, which some have been mentioned by Sophie. For instance, if you're talking about Africa being rich in minerals, but is it getting economic spin-offs from those mineral resources that it is rich on? On the issue of women emancipation and women participation in all in all parliaments in the African continent, strides have been made, but Tulas, women are always saying that there's always a room for improvement. That is not enough. South Africa next year is going for local government elections. So that's one of the things that South Africans will be looking forward to, as to the percentage of women when those council seats after the elections, how many seats are going to be allocated to women from the various councils in the country. So it's those issues that even this month of August, as South Africa this week starts preparing to commemorate the August month, it's those issues that our journalists are going to look at, doing stories around the empowerment of women since the dawn of democracy, the role that the country has played. Well, so far, Tulas, one of the good stories to come out of women empowerment in South Africa is the Chief Justice, Mandisa Maya, who has been appointed as the Chief Justice. She is the first woman to head that position, as we're going to talk about the Constitutional Court as well in this week, Tulas.
Yeah, in fact, let's pick up on a theme that's almost related to that. One of the stories we're expecting to hear more about this week out of Parliament is the evolution of this motion of no confidence that the MK party has called for and whose vote we are anticipating. Tell us what we are learning about that evolution and how it's taking shape, including the call for it to be held via a secret vote.
The motion of no confidence against President Cyril Ramaphosa. Let me start by saying, Tulas, that it's the third motion against the president. There were two motions that were submitted by the ATM in 2020 and in 2022, but those motions were never debated due to lengthy court processes and some parliament processes. They ended up lapsing without being debated. This week, the MK party tabled its motion of no confidence in President Cyril Ramaphosa. They are accusing him of economic mismanagement as well as the issues of national security. The party said that they have requested from the Speaker of the National Assembly, Thoko Didiza, to conduct that motion via a secret ballot. Well, we are expecting to hear, Tulas, from the Speaker this week as to how that that vote is going to be voted, whether it's going to be a secret or an open ballot. We're expecting the Speaker to respond to the request of the MK party on that motion. Linking to that, Tulas, from that motion of no confidence in the president, the MK party also approached the Constitutional Court on an urgent basis. That's also one of the big stories that we're expecting this week. On Wednesday, the Constitutional Court is going to hear an urgent application by the MK party. Again, they are against the appointment of Prof. Feroz Kachalia as the Minister of Police, following the media briefing by KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the President putting Minister Senzo Mchunu on special leave, appointing Gwede Mandasha as acting minister until Prof. Kachalia takes over. The MK party is saying that the Constitution does not allow for the President to appoint an acting minister, does not allow from outside the cabinet, does not have provisions for two ministers. Hence, they have approached the Concord on an urgent basis for that matter to be heard. The Concord gave applicants until today to submit their papers, and also gave respondents until tomorrow to submit their papers on that case. So it's another big story that is going to come up tomorrow. And as I said, with the month of August, with the Chief Justice who is going to be presiding over that, and actually she's the one who wrote back to the applicants and the respondents requesting those papers, is Chief Justice Mandisa Maya, as South Africa is going to mark the month of August.
And of course the timelines are obviously truncated in terms of the exchange of papers between the parties in that court case, given the urgent nature of this application for direct access to the Constitutional Court. Lastly, Lulama, reflect for us on what you'll be following through around the resignation of Kenny Kunene. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because this is the second in command in as far as the Patriotic Alliance is concerned. Yes, he's resigned as a councillor and MMC in the city of Joburg. In any other party, the deputy president of the party being on suspension would cause ripple effects and ructions across the political party. What are we watching there in terms of how it plays itself out within the Patriotic Alliance?
Tulas, that's another interesting story, that one, considering that next year South Africa is going for local government election. Kenny Kunene is one of the top leaders of the Patriotic Alliance, and the party is expected now to start slowly campaigning towards the local government election. And I'm sure, Tulas, that they would want to double or increase their current representation in city councils. So it's what we're watching out there is to see now what is the party going to do going forward. How is the party going to manage the situation going forward? Some of the political parties are already requesting or calling for Patriotic Alliance to field a credible candidate or a credible candidate must be fielded for that position of MMC for transport in Johannesburg. So we need to follow that up to see who is going to replace Kenny Kunene now that he has resigned, and also keep tabs on the party. What is he going to do? How is he going to do? How is the party going to get out of this situation going forward? Because at the end of the day, they need to guard against damaging the image of the party as the country is going for local government elections, because Tulas, we've seen before that South African voters, they tend to punish political parties at the polls when there's a disagreement with when they don't agree with them. They tend to punish them a lot at the polls.
Absolutely. Lulama, thank you for that. And of course, Gayton McKenzie has said the allegations as well as the circumstances around Kenibunene's presence at the home of that suspect who was being arrested, that will be investigated by a independent legal person that will lead that investigation. Lulama Matya, SABC News reporter, talking to us live there from Parliament, giving you a sense of the political stories that the politics desk will be chasing this week.